War Thunder is a free-to-play video game whose developers claim they obsess over realism.
I'm sorry. So you had a question about the internet? Hey, buddy. I can't do this. Roger, someone will take this. Give him a slap. Come on, buddy. Shake him. I think he's...
Yeah, sure, absolutely, realism. This game isn't just a simulator. It's not even grounded in reality anymore. It has officially transcended reality. It's surrealism with armor plates. It's less military simulation and more fever dream funded by microtransactions. And honestly, that's what happens when your main cash cow is a dedicated player base that includes people who are genuinely willing to leak classified military documents just to win arguments on a video game forum. Congrats. Some of these dudes risked prison time, financial ruin, and family disasters so they could say, actually, the turret traverse speed is wrong. A truly unique community. A truly unique game. And we'll definitely talk about what makes War Thunder unique in a future video. But for now, let's focus on the latest circus act. The recently added premium vehicle, Terminator 2. This thing didn't just drop into the game. It triggered a full-scale emotional nuclear meltdown from the NATO-aligned player base, who instantly reminded everyone of the West's legendary values: tolerance, maturity, and absolutely unhinged rage.
Tira! Banana!
Within 2 weeks, the brave GAJIN developers tucked their tails between their legs, took a heroic swig of vodka, and panic-patched the situation. Originally, the Terminator 2 launched at battle rating 10.3, sold for $70, and marketed like some kind of battlefield demigod. Player reaction? Let's just say people noticed. So GAJIN bumped it to 11.3, and even hinted at a future climb toward 11.7. Like they're slowly walking this Frankenstein monster away from the low-tier peasants. But even after the nerf, the ever-tolerant NATO crowd was still furious. Comment sections were full of takes like, move it to BR12, delete it from the game, erase it from history, launch it into the sun. Meanwhile, on the other side of the salt ocean, a counter-tsunami formed. Refund requests, Steam reports, accusations of false marketing. People genuinely feeling scammed after paying $70 for what was advertised as a god machine, and then watching it get nerfed like a wet noodle. And honestly, they kinda have a point, because this isn't the first time War Thunder pulled this stunt. Let me remind you of the PUMA incident. When GAJIN introduced the German PUMA into the tech tree, it arrived with thermal panoramic optics, armor that felt borderline invincible, a laughably low battle rating of 9.3, and it stayed there for an entire year. A modern, hyper-advanced IFV terrorizing Cold War vehicles, like a time traveler bullying museum exhibits. And here's the funny part. For those who don't know, the real PUMA is Germany's latest infantry fighting vehicle, a cutting-edge high-tech masterpiece. It also hasn't even properly entered full service yet, and reportedly struggles not to fall apart during live fire tests. So yeah, that's War Thunder realism for you. A game that markets itself as a hardcore military simulator, while happily turning unfinished, problematic, semi-fictional military hardware into god-tier death machines. Simulation, authenticity, realism. Sure thing, Chief. For a long time, the absence of the Terminator 2 in War Thunder genuinely bothered me. Because like an absolute idiot, I believed the developers actually cared about realism. You know, historical accuracy, combat-proven vehicles. Machines that actually saw war instead of being born in a marketing department. Then I had an epiphany. Vehicles in War Thunder aren't built from steel. They're forged from the tears of the NATO player base. Those same salty, emotional top-secret tears are also used as documentation whenever GAJIN decides to buff one vehicle and nerf another. Blueprints? Nah. Classified intel sometimes, but mostly just distilled whining. So when I heard that they were finally adding the Terminator 2, I was hyped beyond reason. As a proud fan of Russian vehicles, which I assume is still legally allowed for now, I had already emotionally prepared to drop my hard-earned $70 on this legendary war machine. This vehicle had a reputation, combat-hardened, battle-tested, mythical, And I'll admit it, through clenched teeth and wounded pride. For a Russian vehicle, it looks absurdly cool. Like a tank designed by a metal band that drinks engine oil. But, as always with premium vehicles, I did the sensible thing first. I tested it on the warthunder test range. And let's be clear about something. Test drive stats in warthunder are fantasy mode. They are the best case scenario, the developer's daydream version of reality. Real matches? Those numbers collapse faster than a house of cards in a hurricane. And yet, even in this artificial paradise, the Terminator 2 managed to feel worse than a BMP-1. Let that sink in. To be absolutely clear, there is nothing new on this vehicle. The twin 30mm autocannons, already slapped onto half the Russian tech tree. The T-72 chassis, reused more times than a Netflix reboot. The Ataka ATGMs, straight up borrowed from helicopters that already exist in the game. This isn't innovation. This is a Frankenstein build made from spare parts. When I fired Ataka missiles at an Abrams on the test range, it took 4 missiles to destroy it. 4. It felt like a drunk Boris, clutching a vodka bottle in one hand, throwing potatoes with the other. At Captain America, and hoping for the best. Then I tested the 30mm autocannons on a Leopard 1. It felt like that same drunk Boris had swapped potatoes for a paintball gun, and was firing at the battleship Bismarck. Leopard 2? Same story with the Atakas. Pain. Embarrassment. Confusion. This isn't a combat vehicle. This is a clown cart with potatoes. A premium-priced bumper car pretending to be a battlefield predator. And honestly, I don't even know whether it got nerfed after the battle rating change. Or if it was always this underwhelming from day one. Either way, the result is the same. A so-called legendary war machine that plays like a joke, wrapped in hype, and sold for $70 to people who thought they were buying a monster. And instead got a drunken potato launcher on tank tracks. So here's my message to anyone even thinking about buying this thing. Don't. Just don't. Save your $70. Buy a tea with a chicken rockin' fresh kicks on it. Buy your sister a monster bouquet of red roses. Buy literally anything else, including a used toaster with emotional trauma. Because this isn't a legendary war machine. It's not a Terminator. It's a premium disappointment on tank tracks. You're not paying for power. You're not paying for performance. You're paying for hype, marketing smoke, and the fantasy that GAJIN sold you before reality punched it in the face. This vehicle won't make you better. It won't make you feared. It won't make you feel like a battlefield god. It'll make you feel like a guy who paid $70 for a drunk Boris throwing potatoes at NATO armor. If you want fun, skill, or actual value, look elsewhere. And if you still buy it after this, that's on you, champ. Just don't pretend you weren't warned.